Good evening. It's Facebook Love number 248. We are 58 weeks in to doing all this. It's an important day. We are at the 100-day mark from Joe Biden's inauguration, which makes me want to read the poem that Amanda Gorman read at the inauguration called "The Hill We Climb." I did bravely read it either on the 20th or the 21st. I'm not sure when I was able to wrap my brain around the transcript, but I thought it made sense to revisit that. Also, there was the promise made during the election that there would be at least 100 million Americans vaccinated by the 100th day of Biden's presidency, and we are at 200 million plus. I do love the under-promise and over-deliver method. I try to do that myself, and in this case it's just miraculous. Yay science, and yay being organized. So that's a lovely thing. And my son had his second vaccine yesterday, which means that my household is now on the way to being as immune as anybody can be to this awful, deadly virus that is so tricksy and evil. So, I just want to read this beautiful piece and do the best I can with the work by the young Amanda Gorman. You can look this one up and read along if you like. The Hill We Climb by Amanda Gorman. When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? The loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace. And the norms and notions of what just isn't always justice. And yet the dawn is ours. Before we knew it, somehow we do it. Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. We, the successors of a country, and the time where a skinny black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother can dream of becoming president only to find herself reciting for one. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but that doesn't mean we are striving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge our union with purpose. To compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man. And so we lift our gaze not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first, we must first put our differences aside. We lay down our arms so we can reach out our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say, this is true, that even as we grieved, we grew, that even as we hurt, we hoped, that even as we tired, we tried, that we'll forever be tied together victorious, not because we will never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division. Scripture tells us to envision that everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. If we're to live up to our own time, then victory won't lie in the blade, but in all the bridges we've made. That is the promise, to glade the hill we climb. If only we dare, it's because being American is more than a pride we inherit. It's the past we step into and how we repair it. We've seen a force that would shatter our nation rather than share it, would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy. And this effort very nearly succeeded, but while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated in this truth. In this faith we trust, for while we have our eyes on the future, history has its eyes on us. This is the era of just redemption. We feared it in its inception. We did not feel prepared to be the heirs of such a terrifying hour, but within it we found the power to author a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves. So while once we asked, how could we possibly prevail over catastrophe, now we assert, how could catastrophe possibly prevail over us? We shall not march back to what was, but move to what shall be, a country that is bruised, but whole benevolence, but bold, fierce, and free. We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation because we know our inaction and inertia will be the inheritance of the next generation. Our blunders become their burdens, but one thing is certain. If we merged mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright. So let us leave behind a country better than the one we left, better than the one we were left. With every breath, my bronze-pounded chest, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one. We will rise from the gold-limbed hills of the west. We will rise from the wind-swept to northeast, where our forefathers first realized the revolution. We will rise from the lake-rimmed cities of the middle western states. We will arise from the sun-baked south. We will rebuild, reconciled, and recover in every known nook over our nation, and every corner called our country. Our people, diverse and beautiful, will emerge, battered and beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade of flame and unafraid. The new dawn balloons as we free it. For there was always light, if only we are brave enough to see it. If only we are brave enough to be it. The Hill We Climb by Amanda Gorman. It's been 100 days since we've had a massive change in tone, in approach, in national conversation. We keep working, we keep talking, we keep trying to move things forward with compassion. I believe in it. This is Facebook Love, and I'll see you again.